Hey everyone, and welcome back to BMX News, where I didn't notice that the countdown timer was up, and I have no idea how long that it sat there on zero. Either way, we're here, and this is a BMX live news show where I talk about everything that happened in the previous week within the world of BMX that I think you guys might care about, regardless of if anybody pays me to do it, and only because I think that it deserves to be shared and that people might care. With that, the first thing I want to talk about feels like kind of a highlight from this past week, even though it was 2 weeks ago. I just now noticed that this was up here. We have the whole entire 2024 BMX Hall of Fame induction ceremony. You can check it out. As far as recognizable names in here and things that are involved, we have Debbie Kelly talking, Bob Osborne, the freestyling staff, Bobby Woods, a tribute to Harry Leary, Jeff Watson, Kim Hayashi, Hugo Gonzalez, Maris Strombergs, Jay Miron is in here. Freaking amazing. And then Shane Fernandez talking about the state of BMX. So that exists 3 hours, almost 20 minutes. If you guys want to check it out, figured I would toss it in here because it is news and it's BMX related. And the fact that we got 15 people here in the start of BMX news. Welcome. Good morning. Next up, we have the videos from this week, starting with one on the Bloom BMX website. Shredding Sao Paulo with Deborah Nira. Quick video, minute long, for all you fans of the lady shredders out there. This one is for you. Next up, we have a video welcoming Cody Wheeler to Pusher BMX, ripping around. I love that there's flowing in here, as well as front brake tricks in here. He does a backflip to flat off of a kicker ramp, and all around, good watch. Check it out. There's one clip in there where he goes super fast, jumps and nose manual, but feathers the brakes over this thing. And it was like, oh my God, I can't even imagine trying to do that and being worried about flipping. Next up, we've got, I don't know how you say this name, but this video is just as much about the camera work and the videography as it is the riding, and it's well done. I think people would enjoy this one. Damn, we got 25 people in here. Shout out to you guys for tuning in. So yeah, I enjoyed this one. I think you'll enjoy it as well, and it's from a name that you probably haven't heard of before. There's just a lot of nice camera work as well as some animation stuff in here. Let me try and find, right here's an example of the animation. Right there, kind of that drawn paper, torn paper style. It's cool. Oh, we never shouted out the people in the chat. Sean Chambers is first as usual. It's gonna have to be a race next time. Who can be the first in the chat? Zenki TV is here. Travis S is here. Wonder where Travis K's been. Travis wants to know how your guys' week has been. Jeff Mead, member in the chat. The Karinsky fam from all the way out in Utah for the USA BMX Freestyle National Finals going down tomorrow. Practice is going to be happening later today. Huck will be in there practicing. Check it out. Also a member. Thank you to the members in the chat. Kevin Jackson is here. Kevin Zuba is here. Dang, we got a Kevin crew. Kevin J and Kevin C. Zenki is here. Rex BMX, Vic, longtime member, Vic is here. Old fat guy BMX, Stony McGee, Paul James from over in the UK, Alexander Domke. All right, let's keep going. We have Fairdale at TRA BMX 2024. If you guys don't know what TRA BMX is, check this out. I think this is at this dude Mike's house, Mike Gentlecore. Awesome guy. I think this is at his house. I'm not 100% sure, but look at this. Let's get this out of the way. We'll go full screen so you can really see it. This is an event where it's like dirt jumping and racing. in the same event. It's so sick. David Moore is in the masterclass at Core Park. People are going off. Hell yeah, David. Kill it. Win it. Jason Jameson is here. But this is cool. Aaron Ross was here for Fairdale. Right here. 360 and jumps all over the place. Super cool. This was the coverage of the 26-inch class, but there was different, I think, age groups. I think that's how it's formatted. Regardless, tons of people at this event. It always looks like an amazing, amazing time. I hope I can make it there at some point. Yo, Rob Sparkman in the chat, aka Wooden Foot. That is Mike's house. Okay, cool. I thought it was. I thought he told me that when we were out there, but I wasn't sure. Super awesome, though. Next up, we have a video from Fiend with Eddie Baum called Emergence. This video feels very fitting to be a Fiend video. That's the way I would describe it. Skin here, get that. It's very fitting to be a Fiend video because there's a lot of technical stuff like this crank arm to Smith, but there's some super burly stuff in here as well. Definitely check this one out. I feel like the soundtrack kind of messed with my head a little bit. Let me listen again. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it was this one. Damn, we got 40 people in here. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, David, we're going to talk about that here in a bit. Then we've got Mr. Moo, aka Murray Lauser. Welcome to We the People. Obviously, this was in the works before Dan Crook left We the People, but it's crazy how fast they have like seemingly filled that void on the team, and this video is solid. I would say, honestly, if there was a video for you guys to make sure you watch this week, this is one of them. Yo, I'm getting a spam call right now. Should I answer it? No. Straight to voicemail. Not happening. But it would be cool if we could have people call in while I was doing the news. Anyways, there's a lot of burly. There's a lot of tech. There's a ton of creative spot usage in here where, like here, I'm fairly certain he did a grind into this curved wall ride and then tail whipped out. But there's so much stuff where he's just using the spot in a really cool way. Look at that. I mean, that's just cool. So check this one out. It's worth it. We're getting there, David. Not David Moore. David Van Blay. Next, we got Kevin Peraza, Keep Pedaling series. This is Japan from X Games Chiba. Super well put together. Very engaging video, I would say. When he is in here talking, it is in Spanish, but there are subtitles in English in here if you want to check those out. Or check this out. Then we've got the videos from Caddy in the Jam, Mosh at Posh 2024, at Caddy Woods. The first video is made by Ryan Navazio, and it is it's genuinely sad at the beginning. Seeing Posh with all these trees and the jumps demolished, and then dude walking out with the height pole here. It's sad. Very somber beginning, but it's so well put together. And then the transition into the jam from, I feel like it was this past weekend, right? Like, I think this jam happened last weekend, and there's already this super well produced video put up from it. Check this one out to see like cinema BMX. And then Jess, who is also in the chat right now, put together his coverage for it, titled Mosh for Posh 2024. His coverage, filming everything that went down. I assumed that, Jess. Yeah, he confirmed the height pole that was taken out from Posh was put in to Caddy. let's see, how far in do I gotta go? Right here for the height contest this year. So yeah, 2 different videos from the same weekend. Check it out. Then we've got Back Time from Jack Tomlinson, Dig BMX of Waller BMX. And a lot of good stuff in here. This was filmed over 5 years. The thing that somewhat stood out to me that I thought was pretty dope was the fact that the last clip in here is this ice pick to 270 on a sub rail. I love that. Lip trick at the end of a video. Also gnarly because you can see when he kicks off for this 270, it kind of like loops out on him a little bit. Just spinning super gnarly. I thought it was super cool that this was the last clip. Next, does anybody have one of these? Do they suck? The new Motorola Razr flip phones? Anyways, Diego Bravo's Keep It Down section from the full-length video that he made is up on the Sunday Bikes YouTube channel. This one, so many hard crashes in here. This dude can take a freaking beating and then get up and land it. That is what I took away from this. There's some gnarly stuff, and you could see in the clips, like, he's checking himself out, like, is my wrist okay? Am I broken? And then the next clip is him landing it. Very well done. And I just wanted to also, this has nothing to do with the video itself. I just wanted to shout out Scott Marceau's freaking chops right here. Guys, zoom in. No, won't let me zoom in. Anyways, very good video. And look at this gap to over pegs, kind of. Shoo! Burly. Check it out. Then we've got Bottle Kids Training Day. I'm not going to lie, this is where I didn't have time from here on to watch the videos. They do get longer. I put them in order of shortest video to longest video. So we're at 5 minutes, 10 seconds here. And it's from the Bottle Kids, aka Mikey and Riley Smith are the only names listed here. Then we have Fit Recess-ish with REA and Bentley. REA on the S&M team, Bentley on the Fit team, killing it. And I gotta let everybody know, if you do go to use my code for S&M and Fit, you have to use the link. The link is how it works now. So go to any YouTube description, go to my Instagram bio, hit the link, it takes you to the site, and that is how it works. And if you have any problems, let me know. But I had to say that because S&M and Fit here, Recess-ish. These two both kill it. REA, legend in BMX already. Bentley, shredder. Watch it. Then we've got Primo in Brussels. Fumas, question mark. This one is 8 minutes long. Well, Adam, if you put the code and it worked, it did not give me credit because the link is the only way it should work now. Anyways, Primo in Brussels, 8 minutes long, featuring these rippers right here. Video by Wame Sintes and Mickey Fleck. Also in it riding. Then we've got the behind the scenes cold cuts video. This is with Casey Starling from filming for Kink BMX's video 30. Damn, we got 42 people in here. Hell yeah. Thanks, guys. Then we've got Dog Days 001. Does that mean there's going to be 100 eventually? A day trip in the heat of Austin, Texas. Behind the scenes look at the new Hair of the Dog DVD coming from Trent Lutsky and friends. There's gotta be a list, right? I don't think those are announced yet, David. You're gonna get us in trouble. I don't see a rider list, but I saw that there was a bunch of shredders in here. So Julian, I think that's Jared Duncan. You can obviously assume that Trent Lutsky and Grant, Yubi are going to be in there as well. So let's keep going here. The Backbone BMX Mixtape number 3. We have tons of people in here. Jeez, like a rider list almost too long to show on the screen. All these riders. Corey Walsh is in here. That's cool. Tons and tons of people. Check it out. This one is almost 25 minutes long. So if you guys want a longer video, there you go. If you want an even longer video yet and you have not gotten enough, you watched all of the stuff from Hard Yards and you're like, I want more, or you want to watch it again, we have the raw cut at almost 56 minutes long. Hell yeah. Watch it. Such a good thing. I talked about it before. I was a little confused, and I guess I thought that whatever that 25-minute video was the raw cut. Nope, it's this. Almost an hour. Then we get to the interview stuff from this week. First up, Source BMX checking in with Nathan Williams in 2024. So we have kind of the documentary style video. Nathan at home. Then going out and riding, stretching, preparing, and then killing it as he does. Then we have John Superfly Scarla. I don't know how you say your last name. I'm sorry. On the shirt show, talking Superfly printing. So this is a podcast. Let's read it here because I didn't get a chance to look at it. Let's see. BMX has been a lifelong passion of John's, and not only did it give him his Superfly moniker, it also gave him the craft of screen printing through the streetwear culture within BMX. Recently, John has shifted gears into printing full time, but he won't be putting the bike down anytime soon. Topics of discussion: Dilly's press conversion, cicada piss, leases, the process of installing an auto on the 3rd floor, managing art studio spaces, the ban of some chemical, I'm assuming relates to screen printing fundamentals, feel-good moments, and spooky season. Let's check that out. Hot damn! The Karinsky family has been a member on my YouTube channel for 3 whole years. I appreciate that, you guys. The support for 3 years. That is what helps me continue to be able to be here at 10 a.m. on a Friday and not working a job, so that I can bring you the news and continue to make videos and post them on YouTube for everybody. So, next up, we have the Canode Knows podcast, this time with Pat Frayne. Pat's been killing it on his bike, also been doing photography and such, and you learn about that in this podcast. So then we have Bobby Blaine, a podcast that I did with Bobby Blaine. Bobby, if you haven't heard of him before, is a BMX rider who walked and has walked hiked several of the big trails. I can't remember exactly what the term is, but this past year, for the past 6 months, he and his girlfriend had been walking the Continental Divide Trail, a 3,100 mile long trail that connects Canada and Mexico. They started in Mexico and walked to freaking Canada. So I met him at Pond Fest, where we kind of just talked for a second. It was a busy weekend, didn't really get to talk. And I'm like, dude, when you guys are done with this hike, I want to do a podcast with you and just learn about the adventure and crazy stuff that happened and everything to do with it. So that is this podcast. If you want to get insight on real people in BMX who are doing crazy, awesome stuff outside of BMX, this is a cool one to listen to. This is a real dude, and I don't know, I just enjoyed it. That being said, we have gotten to the more BMX portion of the news, where Instagram sucks. Let's be real. Instagram is horrible. So I have took it upon myself to, instead of using Instagram on the browser for this, we're going to bring it up, boom, on my phone. So this is the More BMX hashtag, where if you guys use the tag, it has the potential to show up, maybe. Looks like Huck's double backflip did show up. So can I get it to restart? There we go. Check this out. Huck Karinsky in the chat landed his first double backflip at 9 years old. What? So insane. I wish there was a way to restart it. Does this work? Nope. Can I just do this? Nope. Incredible. The kid is 9 years old and he did a double friggin' backflip. So nuts. Look at this moment. Huck's dad's the one in the chat typing right now. That's him. He's giving a hug too. Both of them, tears of joy. I need it to restart. Let's play J.R. Hobbs from 2014 doing front flips. Who is not in the chat. What the hell? Yeah, he's 9 and did a double backflip. So amazing. So there's that. We have, this is Eric Stahl's new bike, built up an S&M Hucker frame. Check it out. Got some front brakes on there. Love to see it. Oops. Trying to swipe this way. Not riding the Alienation vice grip brakes. What the hell? No, I'm just kidding. But clean bike. Shout out to Eric rocking the Alienation seat, which honestly fits the color scheme on here pretty nicely. Once again, S&M frame. If you guys try to use the discount code, use my link to do it. Next, that wasn't in the past week. This was in the last week. Todd, who is just now joining the chat, probably watching from the beginning, he used this. This couldn't have been posted recently. Yeah. Why is it just now showing up? This is the highlights from one of the Ohio Trails Series events at 1855 Trails, which went down how many weeks ago? 5 weeks ago? I don't know why it's just now showing up, but here you go. Ripping some trails. Todd kills it. Follow him on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, everywhere. YouTube. July. What else? Man. Oh, here's one. Here's one that didn't show up last week, but is now showing up. Huck shredding the new big line at Ray's. So we have 2 that worked from Huck this week. It's like a lottery. You use the tag, and if Instagram decides to pick you, it'll come up. Anything else? I see Time BMX popping up on here. We're about to talk about Time BMX. This is September 9th. Maybe that didn't show up before either. Man, Instagram is awful, but I've seen that when it was posted. We've definitely talked about it. That being said, if you use the tag, let me know. DM it to me and maybe I'll just make a list and talk about that stuff that way. Next up, I want to tell you guys about the Time BMX app for a second, because we need to talk about the events going on in BMX this month. So here it is, Time BMX. This is a social media, an events calendar, and an atlas for skate parks, bike parks, and bike shops. Super awesome. So let's just start with the feed. The feed pops up showing people's video clips. I think we talked about his last week. So we have Narangba, clip from him now playing Phoebe's nice little feeble grind. Hell yeah. But if we check it out, oh, that's the skate park. Nice. So Sam Runge in Australia. You can see the social media aspect of this where he's posting clips. You can favorite skate parks and you can say which events you're going to go to. So then you talk about the skate park type of skate park feature, the atlas. We zoom out and we can see So many different skate parks. Let's zoom into a different park every week. Let's go to Africa, South Africa, all the way down in Cape Town. Let's check out this one right here. Boom. What do we have? Hoot Bay. Whoa, dude, this park looks sick. It's got a bowl, then this street looking section out here. Oh, come on. Let me zoom in here. All right, I found a glitch. There we go. A-frame with the A-frame rail and the hubba ledge beside it. Dude, this park is cool. And look at the view. You're like right beside a mountain. You get this nice fingertip view here that's in the top corner. Awesome. I would love to see more pictures from this park. But it's super cool. You zoom in on there, or you zoom in, and anywhere, if we pulled up and we wanted to get directions to it, you could. That's so rad. And you can even see the weather. It is 70 degrees right now there. Tomorrow, it'll be 72. Sunday, 67 or 69. Nice. Love that. It's just a cool feature. You can search for all kinds of different events, whatever, people's profiles, parks. Next, the events. So let's click on Flatland first, because I know there's some Flatland people who are tuning in. There's a jam this whole weekend going down in Hawaii. Andy Pandemic is there. I saw on Instagram the Tiki Hideaway Sessions. All I'm saying is, if y'all want to have me there next year to film it, I would love to go. But yeah, that's going down this weekend. Then the UCI BMX Freestyle World Cup Flatland is going down in China next weekend. Freestyle wise, we have this weekend the Ramp Fest. That's today. Ramp Fest in Australia going down probably like right, already probably went down because Australia's way ahead of us. Then the USA BMX Freestyle Finals aren't on here, but those are tomorrow at the Core Park in Utah, that training facility that the Olympic riders were riding at. That was a big secret. That is going down this weekend. Then UCI BMX Freestyle World Cup Park going down in China next weekend, along with the Flatland. Timeless BC Jam in Canada. I almost said that wrong. That's going down the 19th of October. Dawn of the Streets. Oh, the UCI BMX Freestyle World Cup thing is a whole weekend long event from the 17th through the 20th. Dawn of the Streets, the final dawn, is going down in New York next weekend, the 19th of October. $10,000 for the prize. Winner takes all. How wild. I'm not going to make it to that, but have fun, everybody, and it's going to be amazing and nuts, I'm sure. Then there's a jam going down in Australia, BMX Jam Nepal fundraiser, the 26th of October. I'm sorry about the cricket, guys. I'll feed it to my gecko next time, and then it won't be chirping. Then we have the British BMX Freestyle National Series Round 5 going down in the UK, the 26th of October as well. And those are the events for October. So that's it. 30 minutes of BMX news. Hot diggity. We did it, everyone. Do you guys have any questions or anything to bring up? Let's just put Huck's double backflip on repeat while we hold for a second and see if there's any questions. I appreciate the fact that there's 43 of you guys tuning in for this at this moment. Looks like everybody's like, yep, news is over, I'm out. I appreciate everybody for tuning in to these news live streams. We do them every Friday, 10 a.m. I appreciate all the members in the chat. Adam Ortiz wasn't here this week. Charlotte Worthington is moving to Pennsylvania. To Woodward? That's pretty crazy. That's news. I didn't know that. Core Park is massive. The smallest features are 6 feet tall with 12 plus foot vert walls. That's crazy. That park looks insane. Hey, leave Brantmore and his crickets alone. I mean, it is meant for gecko food, so I could just feed it and then it'll be over. I can never tell if those crickets are at Brant's or my house, says Kim. That's pretty funny. Kim, when are you and Kevin coming to Ohio and riding Rays? When is that planned for this winter? Danny Marking in the chat. A bunch of the Nowhere crew are going to be at the contest this weekend in Utah. That's going to be nuts. Huck's dad did tell me he was going to be live streaming practice, which will be going down in 2 hours. Hope everyone has dope sessions this weekend. Gotta go do the work I was pretending to do, says Rex BMX. I appreciate you tuning in, man. What's my first impression of the moon room? Oh, I meant to bring that up and didn't even remember to. I will bring that up right now. Thank you, Todd. So I posted a video yesterday from Ray's. Let's just go ahead and pull up picture of the moon room. And then we'll pause it there. So I posted this video yesterday from Ray's of everything new at the park for this year. It's up on the channel. You can go watch it if you want to. But they built this entirely new room called the Moon Room, which is, how many of these? 8 different satellite dish crater looking bowls that are kind of just placed here in the room where you can jump between them. You can do all kinds of different stuff on them. And it is wild. This room is so much fun. I wore myself out trying to jump. So I started in this far one, jumped to the second, third, fourth, and make a hard left, then jump to this one to try and make a hard right to get to the other one and jump to the last one. It is so difficult for me. I cannot figure out this turn right here to go right and go into these other ones. It took me, we were riding it for over an hour, maybe even 2 hours. I never did get it. I could get to this one, but I couldn't get to the right. I had a ton of fun trying it. Hey, Matt, maybe you should go watch my podcast with the people at Huffy and pay attention to what they're doing before you just come in here talking shit, because Huffy is actually supporting BMX riders and trying to make legit stuff right now and definitely not weaseling anything. So maybe get informed before you make yourself look stupid. Anyways, I had a lot of fun, and I think a lot of people are going to have fun in here. The kids were jumping it. People were cruising in and just riding through them on their way in the green line. And it was cool. It was really cool. I was trying to get this run that I wasn't able to pull separate of what I was talking about with those. But it's just an awesome addition. And then the changes to the big line, let me click into here. The amount of people who have turned their back on BMX, you're just ignorant. No company that isn't like a core BMX brand is going to stay around forever. Huffy has been a great sponsor to the Ohio BMX Trail Series. Weird. Huffy's doing good things. And to have a horrible attitude about it is why companies don't want to stay. And it's not the company's fault that BMX riders don't return on the investment that companies put in, so they decide to leave. It's not a charity. It's a business. BMX riders aren't charity recipients. You can't expect them to just get paid forever if they're not returning and helping the company out in return in a way that actually makes it worth it for the company. Huffy's also making legit frames right now that they're prototyping, which are full chromoly with actual features. Nick Bruce is riding one. There's tons of people who are riding them, and I've seen them in person. They're a legit frame. Huck's frame is a legit frame. And cheap bikes in Walmart is how you get people riding their first bike ever, and then move up, if they decide to keep riding BMX, into a legit bike. Mongoose offers the whole range. Who else? I think GT might, Haro might, and those companies are good. Anyways, the changes to Rays. I'm done talking about Huffy because they're doing good stuff. Trying to get it to pause on a specific spot. So they changed up the big line in the jump room profile world at Rays, and it is so sick. They made, I think, all of its step ups now. It's really flowy and good. I had fun riding that. They also added a whole entire new room. They made the Novus room again. Let's see. This is the part of the video where I enter the Novus room. Oh, that's the pump track. So the Novus room here has these berms. There's the curve wall ride in there, hips and whatnots. It's fun though. Brand new room where you can just mess around with the subs, the berms, this little hip thing that Gage is about to jump. This hip right here you can do tricks on, the wedge to wedge hip as well. Tons of good stuff done at Rays. And the thing that I love telling people about Rays when they ask about it is that you go there, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, I'd go to Rays, and I never had a thought in my mind at all ever that Rays could be better. I never ever looked at Rays. I'm like, it could be better. I look at it, I'm like, this place is incredible. And then every single year they consistently have been making it better and better and better and adding new rooms and modifying existing stuff to make it even better. Last year, they completely moved the Resi foam pit room, added a Spox again, and made it even better than the original Spox that Rays had. And it was so awesome. And you're like, how do they top this? Like, how do they make it better? And then they did. This year, they made the big line in the jump room so much fun. They added the moon room. They added this Novus room, and it's just continuously being made better, and I love it. So Kim had a thought here talking about the returning on investments and whatnot. I'm curious what mountain bike riders, surfers, etc. do differently that provide returns to their sponsors where BMX fails. So that's an interesting thought, and I'd be curious to hear that as well. I mean, surfing feels like it's probably got a larger amount of people who would actually do it, That's kind of where my mind would go. Mountain bike riders, I heard mountain biking has been, I have no idea if this is true. I literally just heard someone say this. It could be completely wrong. But I feel like I heard that even mountain biking is struggling right now in that world. But where the mountain bike side of things is that it's kind of like an elite thing. It's super expensive, and it's also more forgiving than BMX. So I feel like more people would gravitate towards it. It's got all these like amazing destination type places you can go with it. So it's an interesting thought. And I'd really love to hear from someone who works in both worlds or has experienced both worlds on the business side of things, what that actually is. It'd be interesting. Matt, your point there is true for a whole lot of people in BMX. There's so many people who are riding for shitty companies that wouldn't ride those parts if they weren't being paid to, or if they weren't being given to them. That's existed for all of eternity. So I think you're where you're at now is the proper mentality. Let's see how long and what they actually do. And they actually are putting effort into things. So come in with a better attitude next time. Let's see. Profit margins for BMX are tighter compared to mountain biking. Is that real? I wouldn't know. I'd be curious to hear that. I mean, mountain bike stuff is inherently more expensive. So if the margins are bigger, being more expensive just generally means more money. Because if even at the same margins, if a mountain bike costs $1,000, well, let's go bigger than that. If a mountain bike costs $5,000, rewind, erase everything. If a mountain bike costs $2,500 for the bike shop and they sell it for $5,000, 50% margin, let's just call it that, might not be accurate, versus if a BMX bike costs $250, but they sell it for $500, the same 50% margin, because it's a more expensive product, makes $250 for BMX versus $2,500 for a mountain bike. So it's more money. Yeah, it's more money invested where you could buy 10 BMX bikes, but then you have to sell 10 BMX bikes versus selling one mountain bike to make you that same amount of money. So it's an interesting conversation, and I guess it would depend on where you're at. You know, a mountain bike right beside a bike shop selling mountain bikes 10 minutes away from a mountain bike park versus if Chenga tried to sell mountain bikes here in Cleveland, it's just not going to happen. Or a big city where there's nowhere to ride a mountain bike, it doesn't make any sense. But there might be skate parks locally, so they might invest that money in the skate parks. So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. The MSRP on my mountain bike was $3,000 versus $400 to $500 BMX frame. For a decent mountain bike, it's $8,000 in the UK. For a decent BMX, it's $1,500. Yeah, it's an economics thing. It's a demographic thing. It's a society thing of like who's more inclined to do what. Heard We the People is making a full suspension flatland bike. We can always count on Jeff Mead coming in here with the comedic relief. I would love to hear the whole question of returning. I want to talk to someone who is like been in the mountain bike world, been in the BMX world, seen the numbers, seen what riders do, because I mean, even if you just look at like Rampage, which is going down this weekend, Red Bull Rampage is like a spectacle event. It's this huge, crazy event. The women's just went down last night. I think that was the first time that it ever did. So, I don't know. It seems like there might just be more interest in mountain biking than BMX. Hard to say. Call me crazy, but I think Tyler Fernego would be a great candidate as an S&M rider. He's a lifer for sure. What do you think? I mean, maybe. I don't know. I haven't paid too much attention to what he's been up to lately. I'm really not sure. Big bike companies that sell full lines have bigger revenue stream across various categories versus BMX companies that are in a very narrow column. That's how I see GT offering what they do in BMX. That's absolutely a thing. You see Mongoose. I mean, it's even why Huffy's able to do what they've been doing, is because they sell bikes to normal people and not just trying to sell freestyle BMX bikes to people who might ride freestyle BMX. Yo, we almost have 50 people in here. That's dope. Thank you guys. That's definitely a thing with GT too, where you look at GT and everything cool that they've been doing with the riders that they have this full line of bikes, so they're not as reliant on the income from the BMX side of things. And I would assume, I can't say for sure because I'm not there, but I would assume that gives a little bit more wiggle room and freedom and not being as worried about it because it's spread out, like Kevin is saying, versus a company, just any random BMX company that only sells BMX bikes. It's a tough thing when freestyle BMX is struggling and all of the cycling world is struggling compared to the past few years. But everybody, or a company who's being able to sell to everybody versus a company being able to sell to just one is a thing. Kevin, what are you doing? I'm making sure that's not there. Oh. Yeah. I mean, thanks for sending me that, Kevin. Yo, Aaron Moravik in the chat, coming in hot with a $20 super chat. I appreciate you, Aaron. Missed you in the live streams there for a while. Stoked to see you made it into this one. We have long since stopped talking about news and have just been talking about things. Look at this. Look, I can reply directly to him now. Thank you, Aaron. As well as Davey Osgood, who has entered the chat, said Brant equals break, go. Thank you, Davey. So he went back to work for the city of Racine. Nice. Yeah, so Kevin is sending me some reference. We have 50 people in the chat. Thank you guys for tuning in. So for reference, I think BMX margins are anywhere from 30 to 40, usually, percent-wise. I have no idea what mountain bikes are. But if there is anybody out there who is in the mountain bike world, who has also been in the BMX world, who knows the numbers and what riders are able to do for companies, I would love to hear that. Casey and Brody are going to be at Rays this weekend. I probably won't make Rays this weekend. I have a jam at New Philly Skate Park tomorrow. If anybody is local and wants to go check out New Philly Skate Park tomorrow, there's a jam going on there. Don't miss it. New Philly Park is so much fun, and it's one that's been there for so long. It's one of the few wooden outdoor parks that is remaining. That's going on, and then Sunday, I think I'm just gonna chill and freaking relax because I rode Tuesday, Wednesday, yesterday, Thursday. I might go to the skate park tonight, going to New Philly tomorrow, and then last weekend I rode Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I've only had Monday off in the last week. Phew. Joel, all the young teenagers seem to be on DJs or full suspension mountain bikes. Very few young teens on just a BMX bike. here in NorCal or Northern Nevada. I can't believe parents are buying these things. Joel, I'll take it a step further. I can't believe parents are buying their kids like these Surons. So those Surons are like $10,000, aren't they? And there's kids riding these things around. Crazy. That is one that I'm just like, buying your kid a $10,000 electric dirt bike and they don't even drive yet. Like, what? But it would make sense if you're seeing more kids riding dirt jumpers or full suspension mountain bikes that riders for mountain bike riders or DJ riders would be able to do better. Parents buying Surons, LOL. Isn't that nuts that that's real life? Aaron says also the farm BMX ramp is done. Hell yeah. I've been seeing clips from it. Looks good, all painted up. I'm a fan of the bare wood, but the painted look looks good too. Maybe Lee Ramsdale would know about sponsorship between BMX and mountain bike side. He might. I think he's mainly BMX, but I'm sure he talks to the people from both because he works at Mongoose. And does Mongoose offer... What is Mongoose bikes? Mongoose.com. Do they offer mountain bikes too? I don't know what they have. Full suspension bikes. So it looks like they're kind of in the lower price tier for that, with everything from $680 up to $2250 price wise. I have to booby trap my trails from Surons. That is depressing, man. So they do offer mountain bikes. They also offer dirt jumpers. What? A $900 dirt jumper? Is it an air fork? Yo, that's sick. Aluminum frame, 100mm travel, suspension forks. Dang. Double walled rims. This seems legit, right? Fork. Circus Expert aluminum. It doesn't say it's an air fork. Google search. Circus Expert. Does anybody know? Mongoose has real full suspension mountain bikes. Is that real at that price point? I have no idea. I'm just trying to learn here. Circus Expert. Let's see. Features air spring. I don't know if that means it's an air shock or if it's a spring. It says air spring. I don't know what that means. But this seems sick. Yo, holy crap. That fork sucks on that Fireball. They had pro models. Okay. Yo, Aaron Moravik just gifted 5 memberships in the chat. What in the world? 5 gifted members. Thank you, Aaron. For real, man. That genuinely helps me a lot. I appreciate it. Circus Experts are okay. I had a couple coil and air. Josh Holt is a BMX mountain bike badass riding for Mongoose. So maybe Lee would be a good person to talk about with that side of things, because they do have race BMX bikes. They have dirt jumpers, full suspension, trail bikes. Seems legit. Maybe I have to do another podcast with Lee so we can talk about how we save BMX and get riders to be able to return better for the companies and learn how other segments of cycling do it. Maddie Kramer has a DJ bike from Mongoose with a gyro on it. Yeah. So what's their BMX side of things look like? Whoa, big wheel BMX. Mongoose is making hooligan. All I can think of when I hear the word hooligan is Merv from Rocket Power. Hooligans! What are their freestyle bikes look like? I know Mongoose has legit freestyle BMX bikes too. Mongoose has everything from this Argus M16, which is not even $200, a $200 20-inch bike, to a $630 Legion L500, which has two-piece chromoly cranks. It comes with sealed free coaster hub, chromoly bars and forks, full chromoly frame, removable brake mounts, mid-bottom bracket. What else? The front hub is sealed, rear hub is sealed. The rims are double-walled rims. Like, it's a legit bike. They offer everything. It's so sick that a company could offer someone's first bike to their legit freestyle BMX bike, their first real complete BMX bike. Anyways, if I was working, I would be supporting this channel. The fact that you're here, Gazin, is enough support for me. But the people that decide to go above and beyond that, I appreciate that endlessly, because it genuinely just helps me. It helps me pay my bills. That's that simple. But the fact that you guys are here watching also helps me pay my bills, because when you watch an ad, I make money from that. So I appreciate it. Anyways, I don't know where we're getting in this rabbit hole, but we are now at an hour, so I'm gonna go get myself some lunch. The fact that the most people we've had watching has been during this talking portion of the news, thank you. If you want the news and you're tuning in now, watch the replay. It's the first 30 minutes where we go over everything that happened this past week. Shout out to everybody in the chat, all 50 of you who are still here. Thank you, Aaron, for the super chat and the gifted memberships. Thank you to everyone else who is a member here as well, and everyone watching. I appreciate everybody. Have a good week, and we'll see you whatever day I upload a video next.